Hello, hello, hello. Good morning, good evening, good afternoon, guys. Welcome back to the Schwa Mill. This is your American English accent review show. My name is Jeff, and I'm going to be helping you to look at pronunciation files that people have sent us. Yep, that's right. Again, my name is Jeff. It rhymes with breath. That's one of the four keys that you need in order to achieve a natural sound in American English, including placement, pitch, breath, trying to weaken your consonant sounds in order to strengthen vowel sounds and things like that. The way this works is if you look at the video description, you're going to see a link to a group on Telegram where people can send me files to be used for this stream. We have the stream on Monday, Tuesday, and Fridays, right around this time, 7:30 a.m. New York. And then if you're also trying to get feedback for yourself every single day, because one of the problems with the show is we look at two files, but if you want to give feedback for yourself every day, then you can join our official Telegram group at fluentamerican.com/Telegram. I have two files, speaking of which, that we're going to be taking a look at today. I want to thank everyone who has sent us files. There are more, but we're always looking for more as well. So we hope to hear from you soon. Good morning, or hello to Gansia. Good evening where you are. All right, so all of that said, we're going to be taking a look at our files. And I'm just going to be kind of highlighting some things that I notice about the sound to see if there are things that we want to shift or change, or that maybe already are sounding pretty natural on their own. Maybe we don't need a lot of comment from me. All right, let's take a listen to our first file. Somewhat of a long one, so I'm not going to play necessarily the whole thing, but something to kind of get a feel for what is happening here. Let us take a listen to this.
Is it just me, or are cockroaches getting bolder and bolder?
Okay. Again, I believe this was Alyssa, if I'm pronouncing her name, or Lisa. Thank you for saying this. Let's take a listen to this again.
Is it just me, or are cockroaches getting bolder and bolder?
Okay. There's a lot of things to like about this.
Is it just me, or are cockroaches getting bolder and bolder?
Okay, so the couple things I want to highlight here that I think are helping this sound pretty natural. First things, notice the pitch movement.
Is it just me, or are cockroaches getting bolder and bolder?
Okay, this is a pretty common pattern in American English where you start with a high section and then kind of just gradually descend. So it kind of starts high and then it moves here and then it moves here. So that sort of movement, very common. Okay. Especially with these higher pitches. I was working with a student yesterday on higher pitches and they're like, Jeff, do I actually need to use this? And I'm like, we don't have to do anything. But the more you actually start listening to native speakers, you're going to see that the range of pitches they're using is extremely wide. There's times you got to go high, but there's also times you got to go low. Okay, and this is the file that I think is embracing that aspect of American English.
Is it just me?
Okay, so that's the first thing I want you to identify there. The second thing is really helping this file. The intonation patterns.
Is it just me?
It's like notice the word me at the end of this slot group.
Is it just me?
So it's not just like a flat, it's not just like me. No, there's a little bit of a waver to it. Wavering intonation. American English has a lot of it. So there's intonation patterns that do like the, and there's also ones that do okay, so these sorts of movements where it's not just like the or the. Okay, not every language is using wavering intonation a lot, but American English is, and that's what you're getting on this me.
Is it just me, or
It's like me or, and it kind of links with or, right? It's like me or me or me or. It's like, is it just me or? It's like that little shift, hide and a slight descend, I think is a very natural shift to make, natural waver on the intonation pattern there. It's really good to hear.
is it just me, or
Okay. So we have a thought group there. That's our first thought group. Then we shift to our next one.
is it just me, or are cockroaches getting?
Notice that as we transition to the next thought group, the pitch immediately shifts. A lot of students are having issues changing pitch levels on thought groups, where one thought group ends on a pitch and then the next thought group is starting on the same pitch, which is causing us to feel a little bit flat when we talk. But here, you can hear the pitch change on the me or part and the start of the next thought group.
Is it just me or are cockroaches?
You could, or, are, or, are, just that little part there has a lot of pitch movement to it. You need that when you transition from thought group to thought group.
Or are cockroaches? Or are
Or, arca, or, arca. Okay. Another reason why this is sounding, um, I think this file is doing a lot of great things, is notice the syllable length.
Is it just me or are cockroaches?
Like you can hear me or arca, me or arca. So like you can hear it's like the me is dragged out, the or is dragged out, you maybe even a little bit longer. And then we say like the are cockroaches, and you can hear how fast and light and weak that R is. Okay. English is not syllable time. So when I'm saying a word and if I'm not stressing a word, I need that word to be lighter, faster, weaker. Okay, and that's what you're getting on that R. It's like, or are cockroaches. Okay.
Is it just me or are cockroaches getting bolder and bolder?
Okay. And the last thing I'll highlight here.
Getting bolder and bolder.
So we have this word that gets repeated, right? We have boulder.
Getting bolder and bolder.
Notice how each of the boulders is different, right?
Getting bolder and bolder.
Like boulder and boulder.
Getting bolder and bolder.
Boulder and boulder. Boulder and boulder. So like a lot of times repetition is a common thing in American English, using the same word twice. But when you repeat it, change it. Repeat it, change it. Notice also that the second boulder is stressed.
Getting bolder and getting bolder and bolder.
However, even though the second one is stressed, the first one's actually higher in pitch. Now, a lot of people, when they hear stress, they're like, oh, I have to make it like the highest pitch word in the whole thing. And that's not how it works. Stress is shown by going higher in pitch than the syllable before it. So that's why the first boulder technically is a higher pitch, but the second one is stressed because the pattern does this, like boulder and boulder, boulder and boulder, boulder and boulder. Okay, so that second boulder doesn't actually go as high in pitch on bowl. However, it's higher in pitch than and that is what your listener uses to detect stress. Okay. All right, I do want to make sure we have time for one more file, so I'm going to cap us there for that one. But lots of great things to listen there, lots of things that we can learn about things we want to be doing to achieve a natural sound in American English. Thank you so much for that file. Greatly appreciate it. Hello to Charzad or Charzad. I don't know where the stress is, but thank you for being here. Great to see you. All right, let's take a listen to our second file here. What a great way to start. Just move it over a bit. Let's take a listen to this one.
Hey, Arshir, and this is my first time on the Telegram channel, and I thought that I'll just maybe introduce you guys to my voice, and yeah, so just doing that.
Okay. Well, thank you so much for trusting us with your voice and accent and things like that. You're doing lots of great stuff, which I'm happy to get into. Hello to Cybermelly. Thanks for spending some time with us today. Let's play this one more time.
Hey, Arshir, and this is my first time on the Telegram channel, and I thought that I'll just maybe introduce you guys to my voice, and yeah, so just doing that.
Okay. Very fluent sounding. So you're able to kind of just go through this and it sounds very smooth, which is great. Congratulations on that. That can be a difficult thing to achieve. The reason that that is able to happen.
Hey, Arshir, and this is my first time on the Telegram channel, and I thought that I'll just maybe introduce you guys to my voice.
I think the reason this is able to kind of have that fluent sound is I think you're giving a lot of space to your vowels and not as much space in general to the consonant sounds. So that's really allowing it to flow. Now, what I would say, I think there's a couple things that we can touch on to sharpen this even a little bit more.
Hey, Arshir, and
okay, I don't know where you're located, Arush. Something that I just want you to be aware for your listener. If you interact with native speakers, if you're in that sort of context,
Hey, Arshir, and
okay, people, I wouldn't be surprised if you introduce yourself like this to native speakers that they would have to ask you to repeat your name because there's a couple thing.
hey, Arshir, and hey, Arshir, hey, Arshir, and this, hey, Arshir.
Hey, Arsh here. Hey, Arsh here. Um, the hey and the Arush are slightly blending. Okay, so I think if someone wasn't expecting you to say your name, you're like, oh, you're saying your name is like Arush. I don't know if that ever happens to you or not. Also because the way that your name is structured, a lot of times when you have two syllable names, especially ending the way it does, I wouldn't be surprised if people would expect it, the stress, or to be listening for the stress to fall on the second syllable as opposed to the first, so it may catch them slightly off guard. To avoid things like that happening, if it
Hey,
happens,
Arshir.
having a little bit of more space between the hey and the Arush instead of just kind of running into it, like hey Arush here versus like hey Arush here, like just a slight pause, I think would be helpful. In addition to that, even a more dramatic pitch change as well between the A and the R. It's like hey Arush here or hey Arush here,
Hey, Arshir.
because right now the pitches are not the same but a little bit similar. Okay, and I just want to make sure that hey, when we introduce ourselves, we want people to hear our name and ideally remember our name. For me, I don't know about you guys, I have a hard time remembering names. They go in one ear and they go out the next. But giving the name more space can help a lot in terms of retention. Keep going from there.
Hey, Arshir, and this is my first time on the Telegram channel, and I
Okay, I in general think that you are projecting a bit low, and I can hear some breath, but I think both of those things could probably be amplified a little bit more. Your voice, just hearing your vocal register, would allow you, if you want it to go even go a touch lower placement wise. You're slightly high for your body. I'll try to demonstrate.
and this is my first time on the my first time on the
You can really hear it on first on the word time.
my first time on
First, this is my first time versus this is my first time. Do you hear a difference? This is my first time. This is my first time.
my first time on the
First time. First time. So I would see if it would be possible to just shift even a little bit lower placement wise, because I think we're just a touch high. I think your body type would allow you to even go a little lower. And one thing that may help with that as well is adding a little bit more breath. Your voice is relatively low, but I'm not hearing as much resonance as I think we could.
here, and this is my first time on the Telegram.
Time on the Telegram. Like if I talk like this for everything I say, I'm not really getting a lot of the warmth and the resonance. If you can hear, it's the difference between talking like this and the difference between talking like this a little bit. Where now I'm engaging the diaphragm more. So I think working on some breath exercises, engaging the diaphragm a little bit more, because we feel a little bit tight, and I think that'll also help a bit with placement if we're able to engage the diaphragm a little bit more. Some exercises to try. Charzad saying that I want to say my shouting audio is so bad, but I was kind of shy. I understand being timid and shy, and I certainly don't want to push you to do something you're not comfortable with. What I would say is that, one of the joys of the internet is it's anonymous. You can create a different name for yourself. No one will know who you are, and you'll be the only one that knows that that feedback is for you, and you can apply it as much as you need. Because, I get comments from people on the channel, and I appreciate the comments. They ask me great questions. They want to know about what they're doing. But I always have to preface it by saying I can't really give you feedback without hearing your specific case. I can give some general suggestions, but everyone's a little bit unique. So it's hard for me to know for sure what's the thing that's going to be the most beneficial. That being said, even by listening to other people's files and the feedback I give, I do hope that you can find that helpful for your own individual case. Okay. Continuing again.
And this is my first time on the Telegram channel, and I thought that
The other thing I think is going to be really beneficial for us, contrast. We're missing um, a lot of elements of contrast here. Everything's kind of sounding the same on different fronts. I'll try to demonstrate.
Hey, Arshir, and this is my first time on the Telegram channel, and I thought that, and this is my first time on the Telegram channel.
And this is my first time on the Telegram channel, and I thought that. So that's kind of the vibe I'm getting. Versus, and this is my first time on the Telegram channel, and I thought that. So I just did a couple things a bit differently than yours. One, I increased the range of pitches. Okay. Um, so like there's highs and there's lows. Okay. Whereas here we're kind of staying at a comfortable mid. We're staying at a range that feels comfortable to us the entire time, and that's not allowing us to fully tap into what we could be doing.
And this is my first time on the Telegram channel, and I thought that.
This is my first time on Telegram channel, and I thought that you're just kind of staying at this range the entire time for everything you say. Ooh, let's mix it up. Something's high, something's low. Okay. You're also using about the same pace.
And this is my first time on the Telegram channel, and
This is my first time on the Telegram channel. See, all your syllables are about the same length. Stressed syllables, same length as the reduced. Reduced syllables, not really reducing a whole lot. Okay, so we got to mix it up. I didn't say we've got to mix it up. I said we've got to mix it up. We've got to mix it up. Some things got to go long, and then some things go faster. Okay, we got to mix up our speeds. Some other elements of contrast you could look at and incorporate some pauses. Another element of contrast that a lot of people are missing out on is contrast in relation to firmness.
Hey, Arshir, and this is my first time on the Telegram channel, and
Everything there is firm. Hey, Arush here, and this is my first time on the Telegram. Everything is firm. I talk with this much strength for everything versus, well, now I can incorporate some softness, but I can also incorporate firmness too. And do you see that I'm using a wider range? Okay. So there's times where I go firm, but there's also times we gotta go soft. It's the full range. Your voice can do a lot more than what you're giving me right here. This is very solid. You know, you don't need to study pronunciation. I imagine any interaction you have with a native speaker would go fine. But if you're trying to really achieve that natural sound in American English, you're going to have to touch on those things that I mentioned. Okay, placement related, breath related, contrast related. Those are the things that are really going to take this to the next level. A couple of things came in that I want to take a look at, but I do want to thank everyone. Arsh, thank you for sending it. Elisa, thank you for sending your files. To everyone else whose files we did not look at today, thank you for sending yours. There's a chance that we'll be looking at them on Friday, which is our next stream. So again, we stream Mondays, Tuesdays, and Fridays. Like I said, a couple questions came in before I head out. Nelson says, "Hey Geoff, is it correct that your and your sound the same?" Yeah, they can. Kind of same sound. Okay. What I would say is that both of them can also have multiple ways of being pronounced. So like there's your, but very often they're reduced because they're not stressed parts of words. So a lot of times they'll just sound like a year. Just a note. We also have a question. This is a good question that we do need to address. So Charzad says, "Can I send it to you instead of the group if that's okay? Can I send private audios to me instead of to the group?" I understand that desire. What I'll say this: if we're this uncomfortable, then maybe we're not ready to send files. Okay. And that's okay. There's nothing wrong with not being in the right mindset to do that right now. I right now am not taking personal individual files because I'll be honest, I already get people sending me files on their own, unprompted, and things like that. And I don't think that's fair to the people who are taking that risk, who are saying, hey, I'm willing to put myself out there. At some point, we have to be willing to risk something. Okay. And if you're willing to risk a little bit of how you sound, as little or as much as you want to send, then I'm willing to certainly work with you. Okay. But in respect to all the people who have taken that leap, I don't think it would be very fair to them if I just took private audios. I'm not saying you have to agree with that reasoning, but I do hope that you can understand it the way I understand your desire to send it privately. Okay. All right. I think that wraps up everything. Hey, guys. Thanks so much for hanging out with me. Look, I know there's a lot of pronunciation resources out there, so the fact that you spent a little bit of your time with me is appreciated. A reminder that, again, if you want to send in files for the stream on Friday or a future episode of the Schwa Mill, what you can do is, if you look at the video description, you're going to see a link to the free Telegram group. If you are interested in getting feedback every single day, because the downside of the free group is I pick 2 files per stream, and there's a lot of files on there, right? So it takes some time. So if you're like, no, I want to get feedback for me, and I never get selected on the streams, or the streams are only 3 days a week. What do I do with the other 4 days? If you're really trying to get feedback every single day, then we do have the full Telegram group at fluentamerican.com/Telegram. So I would say check that out too. Something that you're interested in. Just saying that they understand things for clarification. Yes, I appreciate that. Again, I understand the reasoning for it, but I think we're all in this together. So everyone's going to have to make some sacrifices. With that being said, I appreciate all you guys hanging out with me. I will see you on Friday with the next stream. I hope you guys have a good day, have a good night, and a good afternoon. Take care.